So here I am, about 100 meters north of the Loch Leven Lakes. You have the beginnings of my snow hut there. Up in the back around you see I have Rattlesnake Mountain, you know, snowshoes, my rucksack, my sunburned self. I really should have been in better shape before I came up here. So this is how to build a Quinzhee, or snow hut. So here's my Quinzhee after one iteration. Kicked out a circle about 10 feet around and went around it with a snow shovel and dug it in the trench about up to my knees and then piled it all on top, all going around clockwise. I think this next time I'm going to go counterclockwise so the other side of my back gets a workout. And right now it's about 4 feet tall. Once it hits about 6 or 7, I'm going to let it sit for an hour to center, and then it will be ready to go. So here's my finished Quinzhee. Several hours later, see the sun's already going down in the background. Right now it is 4:30. I started it at 1:30. I also stopped to chat with some people coming up and down the hill. So all told, 3 hours worth of work. If I were more used to the altitude and didn't stop to chat, I might be able to do it in maybe 1.5 or 2. All that's left is to go over to all these pine trees and find a bunch of small branches and use those to provide some insulation between me and the snow that's going to make up my bunk. So here I am inside my snow hut. We've got the tunnel to the outside there and not much space. Enough space for me to get cozy in. I've got a mattress here with pine branches covered up with my army poncho. Now, I don't know if you can see this. All this light just filters in through the snow. It's like my own little cave of serenity. And then we got one little up in the roof here, one little ventilation hole. Keep that open through the night. And I'll put my rucksack, in the doorway. And we'll see how much I freeze my balls off tonight. The big thing is going to be, making sure that this mattress is thick enough to insulate me against the snow shelf that's going to be underneath. And the poncho ought to keep the water from soaking up into my rucksack. Alright, well, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. Slept all night. Still warm. More importantly, dry. Actually slept really well. So I guess the lesson is, definitely, do your best to stay dry. The pine branches were definitely the way to go, because, if you sleep on, cold ground or on snow, the heat will just suck out of your body. I learned in infantry school. I went through infantry school in, the middle of winter in Georgia, and it just was so freezing. One of the things we learn is you never sit down just because you get even colder. You're cold, you're miserable, you stay on your feet, hop up and down until the drill sergeant said let you go in. So insulation, staying warm, staying dry is the name of the game. It's a couple of things I learned is back of my throat's kind of itchy. I don't know if I was sleeping with my mouth open because of the thinner air up here. Maybe I felt the need. I need more oxygen. or if it's just cold. Also, I had to wake up to go pee. Fortunately, I had one of my canteens. I left it empty, and I have to go again. And my other empty water bottle is in my rucksack, which is blocking the doorway. So I think I'll wait probably another half an hour until the sun comes up, where I'm more motivated to wrestle with my rucksack. Is one thing my body temperature has done, as my little tin of chocolate and my canteen has all sat on the snow that's melted and refrozen, so everything's sort of stuck to the floor. And if my rucksack is too, I was just going to have to wrestle with it to get it out of the doorway. And it's going to be a bitch. Even though I didn't drink that much before I went to bed, specifically so I didn't have to, pee in the night. But it's one of the things that your body does when it's adjusting to altitude, and you have to urinate more. So the first order of business today is to make up, 3 or 4 canteen cup loads of pine needle tea to start the day. Keep drinking them for an hour or two until I have to pee again. Make sure my body's rehydrated, flushed out. It's not what you see in Survivor Man or Man vs. Wild, where they find a creek, they take a little sip, and you move along. The human body can lose 3, 4, or more liters of water an hour, depending on how hot it is, or if it's cold. If it's really cold, you lose more water too, and your level of exertion. But even an adult male can only absorb like about a liter of water through your stomach lining an hour. So in a survival environment, or even a backpack environment, so it doesn't become a survival environment, you need to sit down, drink a liter of water, get another liter of water, wait a while, drink that one too, keep drinking. In this case, I think my strategy, if I were out here for several days, would be, heavily rehydrate in the morning, and then keep drinking water throughout the day, and then cut it off a few hours before bed, because I'm going to have to pee a lot anyways, and I don't have to do it more than possible, because if I run out of pee bottles, then I have to go outside my snow cave in the middle of the night, and that kind of defeats the whole point of staying warm and staying dry.